My name is Gail Dudeck, and I've been living in Frankston now for over 37 years. I chose to come back to Frankston. We used to play on the beach when I was a child. We'd go down from Pakenham, and that was our watering hole. And then later on, years later, after I'd travelled around the world, and we decided to come back to Australia, this was the place that I said we have to come to. So, delighted living down here.
Tell me a little bit about your background.
When I was younger, I was a fashion coordinator. I was trained at Myer, and then I went on to teach speech and deportment at Bambi Smith Model College. I won a scholarship there with Myer, and so that was quite an exciting thing to do. The last piece of stage work that I did was playing Eliza Doolittle when it was still Pygmalion, before it became My Fair Lady. So that's a long time ago. So lots of water has come under the bridge since then. When we came back to Australia, I started working in a dress shop and managed that. And then I was asked to start in Myer again, in Frankston, which was wonderful. And I did the promotions. I was the promotions officer. Then from there I went to Melbourne, and I was the promotions coordinator for Victoria and Tasmania. And when they went national, I asked if I could go back to Frankston because the family was all here and they were all still at school, the 3 children. And so that's what I did. And in between time, I used to compare fashion parades and make a nuisance of myself at the council, demanding that we get an art centre or a theatre. And I became a councillor in 1992, and we got the art centre, and then Mr. Kennett saw that we should, in actual fact, he's going to sack us all and start a new look municipalities. But I still was involved then with the art theatre and also the McClellan Gallery. So I've been a member for over 32 years, and the programs that they have at the McClellan Gallery are just too extraordinary. This year will be the 4th or 5th, maybe the 5th, $100,000 prize for the best sculptor, and the people choose to send in a maquette from all over the world, hoping that they'll be able to make their sculpture for that exhibition. So that's one of my specialties, is the McClellan Gallery, which is just so wonderful. The sculpture park is one of the largest in the world, and of course it's all under the watchful eye of Dame Elizabeth Murdoch. So there's the Dame Elizabeth Murdoch Walk, and it's called the. It's in various pieces that you can go into any of the displays. It's not it's a regional gallery, so you can't go in there and buy anything. So that's one of my first loves. I go up there if I'm feeling a bit down. I'll go and sit there at the lake, which Dame Elizabeth designed, and just watch the ducks on the pond, and stare over the island and look at Zarathustra, an amazing, great big giant of a man standing there absolutely naked but in pain, and it's just extraordinary. So that's my little love of the McClellan Gallery. The person who took me up there the first time was Molly Graham. So I met Molly Graham, and the whole kit and caboodle there, that started this love affair with the gallery. But my first love was always going to be theatre, because I believe that no town, no city is a city without a theatre. And you can't say that Frankston was a theatre. It was a city 10, 15 years ago. It just wasn't. You can't have a shopping centre as the centre of the town. And so the heart of the city has become the Frankston Arts Centre, which was originally the Frankston Cultural Centre. It was designed by Darryl Jackson, and he uses that when the model when he's talking to people overseas. He'll show them this amazing theatre that we have here, which I'm so proud of. It was $17 million when it was built, and now one can't imagine how much it's worth to the people of Frankston, and also in monetary terms. And it must never go out of the hands of the council. It must always stay there. It's you cannot make a profit in a theatre. And the bean counters who come in and say, oh, we have to make sure that we break even, that's a mistake. So as long as the Arts Centre is there and I have a chance to have a little bit of a say to people, then I'll be just so thrilled. The latest thing that I've been involved with is U3A, the University of the Third Age. There are no exams, you don't get anything special for it apart from mixing with wonderful people and learning things that you want to know. So I do creative writing, but there are over 60 different classes. Over 10 of those are computer classes in various stages and stands. And we have languages, we have music, we have art. It's just the most wonderful place. We have over 750 members now. So another thing I'm proud of, and another thing I should say is I'm president of that. And what could be better than that?
What advice would you give to the younger generation?
The younger generation, I know that the younger generation is always very busy with all these marvellous machines and things, but some of the basics are very important too, that one thinks outside the square, and perhaps learning to cook something for yourself, or learning to learn the tables. When some of the young people I speak to have got no idea of how to write a sentence or how to spell anything, but they can do everything on these little machines. So I suppose that's another way of going forward. But to me, I would say try and mix with all the generations. Don't hold yourselves back with your little clique. Make sure that you work there with your parents, with your grandparents. Just enjoy days where I know when I was younger I didn't want to go and say, oh, I've got to go to grandma's. But when you get there, it's such a delight. There's all the old-fashioned things, the lace tablecloths and the cream and the jam and the scones and just lovely. And these are memories that I have as a child, and I would love to know that my grandchildren have memories too when they come here.
If you could turn back time, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Do more. Because when I was younger, I was quite lazy, I was quite arrogant, I was quite rude. I thought I knew everything. Of course, when you have to work every day till you're 80, till you know as much as you thought you did when you were 20. So I think I would do more. I would try and do more in every endeavour that I did. I would be helping the children more, helping the community more. This to me is very, very important, the community that I live in, and sharing that.
Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I just love living in Frankston. I think it's a lovely place, and I'm very disappointed that people outside of Frankston knock it so often. It is a beautiful place, and it will be even better. And as now we have the building programs are going ahead more and more, I think we're going to end up there with a most stunning city. Then people will have to pay to come and live here. They'll have to put themselves on a list.